If your watercolour flowers keep looking stiff or overworked, then you need to watch this video. I'm going to give you 3 easy tips that instantly make florals look loose, soft and effortless, even if you're a beginner. And then we'll paint this entire floral piece together step by step. So let's get started. So number 1, limit your palette. You just need to use 2 or 3 colours, especially as a beginner. Keep it simple. This helps keep the painting look soft and loose, and it also stops you from constantly pausing to decide what colour to mix next. I know that because I've done that. You want to try staying in the flow, so do this before you start. So on to number 2, practice your brush strokes, which we are going to do now. Any round brush will work. I'm using the silver black velvet brush size 8 and 12. The belly of the brush needs to open out. So this bit is the belly of the brush, all of this bit, and then obviously this one's got a point. We're going to use the point to start off with. Pop that down on your paper and then press the whole thing down and then slide down. I'm using a size 12. We're going to use the bigger brush first and make really big soft petals. So just slide the brush down nice and slowly like this. Also see where I'm holding the brush as well. It's in the middle, it's not on the end. Let's do that again. Lightly press down so you get the point of the brush is down first. Slide the brush down and you've already made a petal, and then lift up so that you've got the bigger part of the petal at the top, the smaller part at the bottom. Let's do that again. Perfect. The next one to practice is the same bit down, but this time we're going to go straight back up in 1/2 sort of movements. I'm trying to show you without any paint so you can see what I mean, but let's do it with the paint. So let's get some more paint, some more water. Okay, so press down like we've just done, slide the brush down, lift up your brush. As you lift up, place it back down and move your brush back up. It's really weird trying to explain it, but that is it. You can definitely do this, I'm sure you can. So let's do that again. Let me get a close-up. So slide down like we've just done. Tip of the brush goes up and then straight back down. So I've tried to do this slowly so that you can see the exact movement. Don't worry too much about the little puddle there. I will explain that once we've gone through all these practices. I'll explain how to sort that out for you. Some more for you to try. Try going from bottom to top and just doing little brush strokes like this. As you become more and more confident with the brush that you're using, try doing slightly different strokes. Try doing that movement quicker, going straight down, going back up. Start adding movement to your shapes, like this one, I've slightly curved it and then flick back up. And you'll see the shapes are starting to become more and more organic, more and more petal-like. We're not going for realism, I have said that before. We're just going for something that resembles a really nice petal, and then we can add details later. But this, I think, is the bulk of where you need to practice. If you're not confident at all, practice a few different shapes, a few different ways of painting. I should have said as well, this is really cheap paper. This is 230 grams. It's still watercolour paper, but it's not 100% cotton. And I tend to practice things like this on really cheap paper. So it's definitely worth you doing that. So I'll show you some other practices and then I'll show you what to do if you get like a puddle onto your petal. Oh, look at that one. That one's come out beautiful, that one. That's just perfect. You've got this nice natural gradient as well. It's lovely. Do you see what I mean about my first tip about making sure there's enough paint mixed up. Look how much I've used up already, but that is because it's cheap paper, so do make sure you've got quite a lot. So let's sort out the puddle. Let's just try and recreate that so I can show you what to do. So the paint is in my brush, there's quite a bit of water. Let's make a petal in the same way, lift it back up, and look, there is a bit of a puddle. So the first thing to do is just try and redistribute that water to where you want it. So I'm going to rinse my brush and then just dab that or dry that. And then because the brush is clean, it will sort of act as an absorbent and absorb a bit of that water, so you can move the pigment and the water around on the paper to where you want it. But don't do this too much, because otherwise you'll end up overworking the paper and ruining the paper, and therefore possibly ruining your work as well. So just do that very carefully. It is a lot to take in and it can be overwhelming, but I promise you, the more you practice and don't worry about mistakes and keep doing these little brush strokes, these little floral drills will help you paint looser. Another thing I did want to mention is create your petals like we've just practiced, and then add these little tiny wispy bits. They are what make the petal look loose, expressive and soft, and also give it movement as well. So let me just do that one again for you. I just really like adding these wispy bits. Look how different that looks to what we've just done. Doesn't that look completely different? I hope yours is looking really good as well. I am on TikTok as well. If you want to send me pictures on TikTok or leave me a comment, then by all means do so. Either on TikTok you can send me a picture. You can't do that on YouTube. Okay, so let's just try some different angles. Let's just do that here. Turn your brush, create the same petals, but this time as a different angle. Okay, let me do that again for you. So brush down, but this time we've got the brush at an angle. Slide it across and lift up. Exactly the same. And then a wispy bit or a line, or use the tippy pointy bit of the brush to do that line. Let me do that a few times. And I've started moving quicker now as well. I'm hoping you've got the hang of it. You probably need to do the side ones a bit more. Let's just do some more and just start moving quicker. Now you know the basic of the petals. This is what I do anyway. Just try doing them slowly, try doing them quickly, try doing them at different angles. I know we've spent some time on it, but it is really important. But I do just want to show you one shape of the flower that we are going to do. I'll use this one as an example, and then we'll try and make a full flower, and then we'll go into actually creating the full composition that I've got for you at the end. I do want to show you this brush movement that I do. This is a bit of a, because it's at a funny angle, this is what I do. So let me do that again. This is going to go here at the bottom. So press down, slide down, and then keep the brush down, and then sort of wiggle and then move it back up nice and quickly. So you've got a slightly different shape made with your brush. So let me do that here and we'll do a close-up for you. So slide down nice and slowly, keep the point down, wiggle, and just join it back up. And then a few little wispy bits just to make that shape more petal-like, more loose, more expressive. Does that make sense? I'll just add another one next to it just to make it look like a flower. Can you see how this is all coming together though? We'll put one next to it. We'll put one of these next to it, one of the quick ones as a side. So I'll just do one here for you, just like this. Just quick, just do it quick. Just do it. Don't think about this one. Just flick your brush, flick. Exactly like that. And then you can use the pointy bit of the brush just to shape it a bit more. So this is the flower we are going to paint in our floral composition coming up in a moment. And I've used pink and orange. Okay, I've used mostly pink for the testing, but these are the colours that we are going to use. So let's get on with our floral composition. I haven't forgotten tip number 3 either. That is coming up soon. I've got Archer's watercolour paper. It's actually the back of Archer's watercolour paper. I've got Opera Pink here, and we're going to use the big movement that we have just practiced and get the base colours down. And as you can see, I've got some orange made up as well. And I'm using the movement that we have just practiced, exactly like I've said, using the tip of the brush to make the shape the way I want them. I'm going in with that brilliant orange and just adding in a second colour. This is why I wanted you to have some colour made up. One of the biggest secrets to loose watercolour is staying in the flow. So you want enough paint already mixed up so you can work while the paper is still wet or damp. And that's how you get those soft, beautiful blends and blooms naturally on the page. Use the point of your brush just to add in those few little wispy bits. That's what gives it the expressiveness and the movement. Just be free with it and just enjoy the process. I have put on a second flower just to add to the composition, so feel free to add that on if you want to. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine as well. But we are using the same brush strokes that we have used, just at slightly different angles. Just practice. You've just got to practice the brush strokes that you've used, but you can do it. I believe in you. I'm going in with some of that orange, slightly darker, a bit more pigmented. And this time I'm going in with some sap green, and I'm starting to add in some of that, just the stem. And I'll just add in some small leaves in a second as well. And I'm just starting to add in a bit of that centre. Once you're happy with the first bit, we're going to leave it to dry about 5 minutes or so, depending on the weather. It's really hot in the UK, but just leave it to dry and then come back to it. So, tip number 3, leave the details until the end. I'm using the smaller silver black velvet brush now as well, and I'm just adding some more pigment and not using as much water like I did at the beginning. One mistake that makes watercolour florals look stiff is adding the details too early. Instead, focus first on the overall petal shapes, colour and movement. In the first layer, don't worry about perfection, just get the paint down and let the water do some of that work. Then once it's dried, then we can add on this second layer, and then we can use that to add shadows and depth. And only at the very end add in a few tiny extra details in selective areas, maybe a darker centre, a few lines, more wispy bits, or just some delicate leaves. And that's exactly what I've done here. So I've just used a bit more of that pigment to go in some of that area of the flower, not covering the whole of the petal. I'm just adding in some of that orange in places, not all over. We don't want to lose that delicateness, that soft, it almost looks like candy flowers with the colours that I've chosen. And like I say, this is the smaller size 8 brush, but any round brush will work, that's just smaller. And the same thing, don't hold your brush too tightly, don't hold it too close to the bristles. And we're going in with those wispy bits again. I love the wispy bits, I just think it makes such a huge difference. So I'm just working on that second petal, going in with some darker orange. I should have had a touch of pink to this one, but that's okay, it still works. I still really like it, and I just hope yours looks really nice as well. I hope I've explained enough how to create your own petals and flowers in a loose, expressive style. I know we haven't talked too much about leaves in this particular tutorial, but if you do need to make some leaves yourself, or you need a tutorial on those, I will leave everything in the description box for you, so you can have a look at how to paint loose leaves as well. I really just wanted to focus on the flowers for you, but definitely have a look at leaves, because that's what makes or finalizes or just completes a floral composition. And I'm using the same techniques in how we've created those petals. They are all very similar. It's just some of the brush strokes are tweaked slightly, or they are slightly different but the same. I'm sure you can do it. Have a go, just try it, but definitely check my description box and you can see some other tutorials. I really didn't want to pick up another colour, so I've mixed the green and the orange just to make a darker brownish sort of colour, just to go on that on the leaves a little bit, just to finish off the picture. But it's entirely up to you. You can now start to add another colour or a darker colour if you want to, just to go in with those details. I've still kept everything loose. I haven't gone in too heavy with details, but that is something you can do if you want to. And in a nutshell, that is basically how I approach loose watercolour florals without overworking them. If you want to practice the brush strokes more, then pause the video and just try the floral drills a few times before painting a full flower. It really does make a difference. And if this tutorial helped you, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I'd love to make more beginner-friendly watercolour videos for you. Just added in a few more final details, and then of course I had to add some splatter. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to watch a loose leaf tutorial, I've got that coming up for you, and I've got some more in the description box for you. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.